Yeah, I just would. Well, so continue. Continuing my kind of lessons or my talks about myself because somehow um I feel that a lot of people are thinking of this kind of living dead artist who's able to be discovered after the death, just like Van Gogh or um, some of the other artists. I just have to add, if you're somehow acquainted with the history of art and history of a lot of artists, a lot of them have been earning their money as artists during a lifetime, and a lot of them have been already making a name during the lifetime of thereafter. But there is this one phenomenon called Vincent van Gogh, who is uh, well, a Dutch painter and who is one of the examples of a very unhappy artist, or maybe not unhappy, but somehow, um, you know, not successful enough during his lifetime, but then incredibly successful after his death. And this is something really very annoying to me in this time, because as a matter of time, if you're an artist, everyone knows that you're an artist. It is impossible to be a painter and uh, and somehow hide yourself from the world. A painter is obvious, is an obvious person. It's always obvious that you're a painter because you're always somehow walking with paintings in your hand, in your hands. You're always carrying something very heavy in your hands because to be a painter means to carry canvas and to be visible on a street with canvas. People are not able not to realize you're a painter because sometimes your hands are covered with colors and with some wild colors, and you're smelling a little bit like acrylic or oil colors or whatever. Obviously, it does smell, and it is impossible to be a painter and not to be realized and accepted as a painter. It's just impossible. So obviously Vincent van Gogh was very obviously a painter, and he was known in every city he was living in. 100% sure everyone in the city knew this man is creating paintings and he's producing a lot of paintings and he's living as a painter. So there is this one fairy tale about him who kind of sold only one painting in his lifetime and never sold anything, but was painting the entire time of his life. And then he died, he passed away, and he somehow cut away his ear, and he was getting crazy because he was drinking too much of this absinthe, which was kind of poisonous and not so very healthy. And his brother somehow turned away from him, etc., etc. So it was all this a lot of situations producing unhappiness in his life. But at the same time, after his death, he became enormously popular, and his paintings have been sold to the prices of millions and billions of dollars because all of a sudden he got this huge name and this huge popularity, and his style was the best, and his art to paint was all of a sudden the most admirable worldwide, and all the artists and all the mecenes and all the supporters of art have been here to accept him as a genius, as the most genius artist, but unfortunately passed away. So behind it, there are probably a lot of people who are um, have been working tirelessly on this mythology and this legend of Vincent van Gogh, who just kind of needed to pass away, and they've been all waiting for him to be a dead body because it was nice to have his paintings in the possessions, and maybe the family of Vincent van Gogh was possessing the entire oeuvre of his, and they've been the ones who are creating this money. after his death, and accumulating all of this richness because they've been the first family and his brother and his family of his brother, etc. So somehow the society of Germany is really keen and eager to put me um, into this shelf of being the new Van Gogh. Like I didn't sell one painting, and I'm gonna be drinking absinthe and cutting my ear off and some stupidities. Well, I can say something about it. So number one, I'm a woman, and number two, when in 21st century, it is impossible to be neglected or to be unknown in the times of internet and Facebook. It's just impossible because everyone is able to Google you within 1 minute after you're telling your name, and it is impossible to be an unknown artist, and it is also impossible to drink some stupid absinthe or whatever, because absinthe is somehow more or less prohibited to be sold in a lot of countries, and well, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of alcohol at all. So obviously, you can take a look at my ears; they are both at the right place. I'm never cutting myself. I am not suicidal, and I'm not some kind of masochist. I'm never cutting my body. I think my body is splendid. I love my body. And obviously, I'm not walking around with some knife, making some paintings on my skin or on my body parts. So I am not Vincent van Gogh. And while being a painter and an artist, I sold much more than one painting. I sold paintings of an amount of at least 2,000 euros. So I sold a lot of paintings, and maybe I'm not yet Richter, but I was never even trying to be this professional and really walk this path to the end of my life because I'm a studied musician and not a painter. Painting was my hobby, and I like to paint, but I was never following this path really professionally. So I'm eager to get an agent, or I'm eager to have my paintings to be printed on t-shirts or to connect it with fashion, because obviously visual art is obviously a lot of time a part of fashion design. So this is not a part of my life like it was a part of life of Vincent van Gogh. So my big uh, kind of a big question or big favor to all the world. Please do not wait for my death. I am not Vincent van Gogh. I'm a woman and I'm not Frida Kahlo, because Frida Kahlo was a sold out artist during her lifetime. She was a full time painter and artist during her lifetime. She was not discovered after her death. And please do not destroy my spinal cord because you were so eager to put me into the shelf of Frida Kahlo or to put me into the train of her. Even if my birthday is one day after hers, or after hers, because she's born on July the 6th and I'm on July the 7th, it doesn't make me a relative of Frida Kahlo. It also doesn't make me a relative of Frida Kahlo because I am not in Mexico. I am not married to a painter. For example, Gerd Richter is not my husband. I am not producing a lot of paintings. I am not creating any exhibitions. I am not interested in any meeting with any politician. I am not connected to the family of Trotsky. I am not a communist. I hate communism. I am really not spending the entire life in a hospital. I am not using some walking vehicles because I'm not walking on my own, etc., etc., etc. So a lot of differences between me and Frida Kahlo. So I really would like to ask every German, do not put me into the shelf. I am not this one of artists who is to be discovered after her or his death, because we are living in the 21st century, and to discover my name, it takes 1 minute to Google me, to find me everywhere on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever ever, and to look at the things I'm creating. And I am a writer, I'm creating screenplays and books, and I'm creating my own songs, and I'm a musician, and I studied music and painting and art was a part of my life, yes, but it is not longer a part of my life because obviously I'm following the path which is giving me money daily, and it is music. It is because I studied music, and this is why I'm a musician and not a painter. So please just respect this reality. I'm a musician, I'm in my profession, I'm a studying musician with a lot of degrees and a lot of diploma, and I got through every exam successfully. I'm not a loser in my profession. I'm a very big winner, and I'm a very successful person in what I'm doing because um, creating a song at the same day and performing the same day, it got to be a very big talent, and you have to have guts, and you have to have voice, and you have to have this experience of being on stage in front of the audience, and you have to have a certain amount of database of music in your head and your hands to be able to write a melody without a minute. So I'm a genius musician and genius artist, and I'm not a painter. Consider that.